Have you ever wondered why your blood pressure seems to be creeping up, even though you think you're eating healthy? You might be surprised to learn that some foods you consider staples in your diet could be secretly raising your blood pressure. Today, we're going to talk about the salt trap, 6 surprising foods that might be sneaking extra sodium into your meals and what you can do about it. High blood pressure is something many of us face as we get older, and while medication can help, diet plays a huge role in managing it. The tricky part is that salt isn't just in the obvious places like chips or pretzels. It's hiding in foods you might eat every day without a second thought. In this video, we'll uncover 6 of these surprising foods and give you simple tips to make smarter choices without feeling deprived. Point 2. High blood pressure is something many of us face as we get older, and while medication can help, diet plays a huge role in managing it. The tricky part is that salt isn't just in the obvious places like chips or pretzels. It's hiding in foods you might eat every day without a second thought. In this video, we'll uncover 6 of these surprising foods and give you simple tips to make smarter choices without feeling deprived. Before we dive in, let's quickly talk about why sodium matters. Too much salt makes your body hold on to water, which can make your blood pressure go up. And as we get older, our bodies are less able to handle that extra strain. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day, and ideally, less than 1,500 milligrams for most adults, especially those with high blood pressure. But the average person consumes over 3,400 milligrams daily. That's a lot of extra salt. So let's start with the first food that might be catching you off guard: bread and rolls. Yes, that soft, comforting slice of bread you use for your morning toast or sandwich. Bread is one of the top sources of sodium in many people's diets, and it's not because you're sprinkling salt on it. The salt is baked right in to enhance flavor and texture. A single slice can have anywhere from 100 to 300 milligrams of sodium, and if you're like most people, you probably eat more than 1 slice a day. Think about it: 2 slices for breakfast, maybe a roll with dinner. That could add up to 600 milligrams or more just from bread. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up bread entirely. That would be tough, and let's be honest, not very enjoyable. But there are ways to be smarter about it. Take a look at the nutrition label next time you're at the store. You'll see that some breads have as little as 50 milligrams per slice, while others can have up to 300. That's a big difference. If you're eating 2 slices a day, choosing a lower sodium option could save you hundreds of milligrams of sodium. Look for bread labeled low sodium or no added salt. You might also consider whole grain options, which can sometimes have less sodium than white bread. And here's another tip: when you're making a sandwich, load up on fresh veggies and lean proteins like turkey or chicken breast to balance things out. That way, you're still getting the satisfaction of a sandwich without as much sodium. If you're feeling adventurous, you could even try making your own bread at home. It's easier than you think, and you can control exactly how much salt goes in. There are plenty of simple recipes online that don't require a bread machine or fancy equipment. Plus, there's something satisfying about slicing into a loaf you made yourself. Moving on, let's talk about the second surprising food: canned soups. Soups are often seen as a healthy, comforting meal, especially on a chilly day. But many canned soups are loaded with salt to make them taste better and last longer on the shelf. A single can of soup can have over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's almost half of your daily recommended intake in one meal. And if you're pairing it with a sandwich, you could easily exceed your daily limit without realizing it. Again, you don't have to swear off soup forever. There are better options out there. Look for soups labeled low sodium or reduced sodium. These can have significantly less salt while still being tasty. Even better, try making your own soup at home. It's a great way to use up leftover vegetables and lean meats, and you can control the ingredients. Here's a quick idea: start with a low-sodium chicken or vegetable broth, add some diced tomatoes, carrots, celery, and a handful of spinach. Season with herbs like basil, thyme, or rosemary instead of salt. You've got a delicious, hearty soup with way less sodium. If you're short on time, there are also some great low-sodium broths available that you can use as a base and add your own ingredients. And here's a bonus tip. Other canned foods, like vegetables or beans, can also be high in sodium. But you can reduce the salt by rinsing them under water before using. This simple step can cut down the sodium content by up to 40%. It's an easy trick that doesn't take much effort. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine it's lunchtime, and you're in a hurry. You grab a can of soup and a couple of slices of bread for a quick meal. It seems harmless, but that meal alone could have over 1,500 milligrams of sodium. Now picture this instead, a homemade soup with low-sodium broth and fresh veggies, paired with a slice of low-sodium bread or even a salad. You'd still be satisfied, but with a fraction of the salt. Small changes like this can make a big difference over time. You might be thinking, but I don't add much salt to my food. That's great, but most of the salt we eat comes from processed and packaged foods, not the salt shaker. So, even if you're not adding salt at the table, you could still be getting more than you realize. One way to get a handle on this is to keep a food diary for a few days. Write down everything you eat and look up the sodium content. You can use apps or websites to help with this. You might be shocked at how quickly it adds up. Once you know where the salt is coming from, you can start making smarter choices. Let's dive into the next surprising food that might be secretly raising your blood pressure: deli meats and processed meats. You know, the kind you might grab for a quick sandwich or toss onto a charcuterie board: ham, turkey, salami, even hot dogs. They're convenient, tasty, and seem like a simple way to get some protein, but they can be loaded with sodium. A single slice of deli ham can pack over 300 milligrams of sodium, and if you're stacking 2 or 3 slices into a sandwich, that adds up fast. These meats are often cured or preserved with salt, which is why they're such a hidden source of sodium. But don't worry, you don't have to ditch your favorite sandwich entirely. There are smart ways to enjoy deli meats with less salt. For starters, check out lower sodium versions. Many brands now offer reduced sodium or low sodium options that cut the salt by up to 25%. Another trick is to use less meat and pile on fresh veggies like lettuce, tomatoes, or cucumbers. They add flavor and crunch without sneaking in extra sodium. You could also swap in other proteins, like grilled chicken or a tuna salad made with low-sodium mayo, for a healthier twist. Feeling adventurous? Try roasting your own turkey or chicken breast at home. It's easier than you think, and you get to control the seasoning. Picture this: a juicy turkey breast fresh from the oven, seasoned with herbs like rosemary and thyme. It's delicious, low in sodium, and perfect for slicing up for sandwiches all week long. Here's a real-life example. My friend Susan, who's in her late 60s, used to eat a turkey sandwich every day. She was stunned when her doctor said her blood pressure was climbing. She had no idea her deli turkey was a culprit. She switched to a low-sodium version, added more veggies, and soon felt less bloated after meals. Her blood pressure even started to steady out. Small changes, big results. Next up on our list is cheese. This one's a sneaky offender because it's not just the obviously salty varieties like feta or blue cheese. Even milder ones like cheddar or mozzarella can pile on the sodium. A single ounce of cheddar can carry over 170 milligrams of sodium, and if you're nibbling on more than that, who doesn't? It adds up quickly. The good news? You don't have to swear off cheese completely. Think of it as a flavor booster instead of the star of the show. Use a smaller amount of a bold cheese, like sharp cheddar or Parmesan. A little sprinkle goes a long way. You can also seek out naturally lower sodium options like Swiss or ricotta. Pairing cheese with fresh fruits or veggies, like Swiss with apple slices, is another great way to balance out the salt and make a tasty, low-sodium snack. At home, why not get creative? Mix ricotta with a drizzle of honey and a dash of cinnamon for a sweet treat, or blend it with herbs and garlic for a savory spread. You control the salt, and it's a fun way to keep things flavorful. Now, let's talk about condiments and sauces. These little flavor bombs, like ketchup, soy sauce, salad dressings, and even mustard, can be shockingly high in sodium. A single tablespoon of soy sauce can hit you with over 900 milligrams of sodium, more than half your daily limit. And if you're pouring it over a stir-fry or dipping sushi, it's easy to overdo it. But flavor doesn't have to mean salt overload. Look for low-sodium versions of your go-to condiments. Reduced sodium soy sauce, ketchup, and dressings are widely available and still taste great. Better yet, whip up your own. A quick vinaigrette with olive oil, vinegar, and a touch of honey beats store-bought dressings hands down. For soy sauce lovers, mix a small amount with ginger, garlic, or a splash of citrus to stretch the flavor without piling on the salt. Here's a pro tip. At restaurants, ask for sauces and dressings on the side. You'd be amazed how little you need to make your meal pop. Picture yourself at a barbecue, dipping your burger into a tiny pool of ketchup instead of drowning it. You'll use less and might even enjoy the taste more. Alright, let's dive into the final part of our journey through those sneaky sodium-packed foods you might not suspect. The last item on our salt trap list might catch you off guard. It's breakfast cereals. Yep, those cheerful boxes of flakes, puffs, or crunchy clusters sitting on your shelf could be hiding more sodium than you'd think. Even if they don't taste salty, manufacturers often add salt for flavor and to extend shelf life. A typical serving can range from 100 to 300 milligrams of sodium. And let's be honest, most of us don't stop at one serving, especially when that bowl looks so inviting first thing in the morning. Toss in some milk, and your quick breakfast might be kicking off your day with a surprising sodium boost. But don't panic. You don't have to ditch your cereal habit entirely. There are easy ways to keep the crunch without the salt overload. Start by flipping that box around and checking the nutrition label. Some cereals are way lower in sodium than others. Aim for ones with less than 100 milligrams per serving, or look for labels that say, low sodium, or no added salt. If you're open to mixing things up, try switching to oatmeal or other whole grains. They're naturally low in sodium and loaded with fiber to keep you full. Love the sweetness of your usual cereal? Skip the extra salt and add fresh fruit like berries or a drizzle of honey instead. Here's a fun idea. Mix a small handful of your favorite cereal with some unsalted nuts and dried fruit for a tasty, low-sodium twist. It's got that satisfying crunch without sneaking in extra salt. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, whip up your own granola at home. It's super simple. Just combine oats, a bit of honey, and your favorite nuts or seeds, then bake until it's golden and delicious. You're in charge of what goes in, and it's a great way to start your day with a healthy win. Now that we've unmasked all 6 culprits, bread, canned soups, deli meats, cheese, condiments, and breakfast cereals, let's wrap it up with a quick rundown. These everyday foods might be slipping extra sodium into your meals, but you've got the power to outsmart them. For bread, hunt down low-sodium loaves or bake your own. With canned soups, grab reduced sodium options or simmer up a homemade pot. Deli meats? Go for lower sodium cuts or roast your own turkey or chicken. When it's cheese time, use it as a treat or pick naturally lower sodium kinds like Swiss or ricotta. For condiments, try low-sodium versions or mix up your own sauces. And with breakfast cereals, scan those labels or switch to oatmeal or homemade granola. Here's the best part. You don't need to overhaul your whole diet overnight. Pick 1 or 2 changes that feel doable, like swapping your usual cereal for a low-sodium option, and go from there. Little tweaks add up fast. If you're watching your blood pressure, aim to keep sodium under 1,500 milligrams a day. Otherwise, try to stay below 2,300 milligrams. It might take a bit of practice, but soon you'll feel lighter, healthier, and totally in control. Want more tips to keep your health on track? Stick around. Check out our other videos for ideas on everything from workouts to chilling out. If this hit the spot for you, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out. Drop a comment below. Tell us your go-to trick for cutting sodium, or which food on this list shocked you the most. Here's to small steps that lead to big wins. You're on your way to a healthier you, and we're cheering you on. See you next time.